Hello, I'm delighted today to be with the Tenant Farmers Association's new national chair, who takes over the position following Mark Coleman's successful period as national chair. And today I'm introducing you to Robert Martin, who is going to be in pole position for the next 3 years. Welcome, Robert.
Good afternoon, George.
Really great to have you on, Robert. We're just going to take a few minutes just to introduce you to people so they get to know who you are. Now, you have said to me, Robert, that it feels like you have faced the longest job interview in history. Can you just say a little bit about how you became involved with the TFA, why you think it's such an important organization, and how you've come to this point to be its national chair?
Well, a little bit about myself is I'm a third generation dairy farmer. My family have farmed near Carlisle since 1932. Grandfather, father, and then myself. I took over the tenancy in 2000, and so I didn't become a member in the TFA till 22 years ago. I was invited to a meeting at Penrith by a current member at the time, a very good friend. And he says, I think you need to come and have a listen to, there's a guy called George Dunn coming to speak. I said, that's fine. So I went into the meeting as I think it must have been described as exuberant of youth at that time. And I enjoyed the meeting. There was a lot of good things I liked listening to. And then at the end of the meeting, I foolishly said to Mr. Dunn, why is there no representation in the Northwest by the TFA? But why don't we have anybody up here? And he says, and you said, well, when are you going to start? And that, I think the meeting was in the February, and in the March, I was down as the Northwest area chair for the TFA, and that's how my journey in the TFA started. And I think it was because it's the first time I'd really appreciated what the organisation was doing. It was there representing its members, both at a national and a regional level. And that's how I got involved. And then I was approached, oh goodness, maybe 4 years later than that, to say, would you be prepared to go through the journey for a national office holder, which meant you went through as 3 years as treasurer, 3 years as the vice chair, and then 3 years as the national chair. And this is me coming into the role in March of 2024.
Brilliant. Thank you, Robert, for that background. So as you step into this new role, what do you see as your priorities as chair of TFA?
I think the one of the most important things is the TFA needs to be there to represent the tenants at, as I said before, at a local level and also at a national level. We've seen the schemes that we've had to negotiate our way through since Brexit, and we've had Mark Coleman as being at the chair, probably at the eye of the storm, really, looking at all things to do with tenants. How do the tenants join the scheme? How are they well represented? And how does the tenant's voice get represented at government level for when you start to pull together the schemes? So I think that is very important that we continue that on. We've seen the ROC review. We've seen that the recommendations is put forwards, and that to me is something that we need to be carrying on with until we get all those recommendations implemented in a form that will benefit the whole tenant sector. The second thing I would like to, I think it's really an information going out with. It is, I was at a meeting last month, and I talked to a guy who was a share farmer, and he said, do you represent share farmers? And I thought to myself, well, yes, we do. And what I don't want the TFA to be seen is as a one-trick pony. I don't want to be seen as just representing HA and FBT. It's there to represent the commons grazes, the contract farmers, the share farmer agreements, grazing licenses, partnerships, joint ventures. We can help to draft an agreement between the landlord, with the intermediary of the agent and the landlord, so all parties are happy and all feel they are well represented and one is not benefited more than the other.
Great, thanks, Robert. And finally, before we let you go, what would your message be to those tenant farmers and others who are farming land that they don't own, who haven't yet made the decision to join the TFA?
Well, personally, I would say you've got nothing to lose by coming to talk to us. Information is so important when you're making a decision, but not just information, but the right information. And the thing that was passed over to me within the TFA is that the TFA is there to give you advice when you need it, information when you want it, and we're always there. We always have your back. And to me, being able to pick up the phone as a member of the TFA, it doesn't matter what it is. If I just want clarification on something, or I want clarity on something, or if I've got something that's come into my inbox or my email or from the landlord's agent or the landlord's, and I just want clarification on it, I know I can always ring up and I will get an answer. Or they will pass me on to somebody that they feel they can add even more to that question that I've asked. But the 20-something years that I've been a member, I've never needed to go past the head office.
Great, fabulous, Robert. Thanks so much for that. Obviously, I've been here for a few years and I've seen a few national chairs come and go. I'm really looking forward to working with you over the next 3 years and making sure that we're doing what we can to help our members and the wider tenancy sector. But for now, Robert, thanks very much and goodbye.
Thank you, George.